Hi everyone, my name is YvensB. I'm a photographer specializing in sports and fitness. So today we're going to talk about studio lighting. Studio lighting can be complicated, but it doesn't really have to be. Most lighting setups that you see are a complex melange of lighting and strobes and constant light, and it does really look complicated, but there's a particular way to make it very approachable for the beginner to the end pro. So in this video, I will show you one very powerful trick in order to understand how to work with artificial lighting. This video will then help you get way better results whenever you're shooting either in a studio or on location or indoors. Whenever you're approaching studio lighting or indoor lighting or on location lighting, let's call it, there are many approaches you can take to get it right, but there are guides or principles that are very firm that we kind of have to repeat or understand in order to move forward with that. So if ever we have any beginners here, it's going to be really interesting for you and it won't take very long. There are 3 principles that we have to recall every single time. And for the sake of clarity, let's repeat them. So the first principle is the source of your light, if it's a strobe, if it's a speed light, or it's a constant light, will directly affect the settings within your camera. So let's keep that in mind. The modifier that you put on top of your light, or basically surrounding your light, will change its shape. Let's keep that in mind also. And the third principle, and the last one, is the distance between your subject and your light will change its quality, or basically the quality of the light. Again, this is the last principle, and we wrapped everything up that we needed to know for the rest. So with that in mind, let's review a technique, and a very simple one, but also extremely powerful, that will help you basically understand the way that your light, whatever you're using, is behaving. And to get this done, it will require, again, 2 conditions that are very simple, but needs to be kept in mind or kept present, or else it'll be a little more difficult to get it done. The first condition that we have to keep in mind when using that technique is that the ambient lighting, which is either like artificial light or natural lighting or window light basically, has to be able to be controlled by you basically. So let's say you have a studio that has big windows, make sure you have either some shutters or some drapes to cover that, so make sure you can actually control the ambient lighting. And the second item that you have to keep in mind also, and that's going to be more of a gear part, is that whatever you're using as a source of light has a modeling light that's embedded into it. Again, for clarity, a modeling light is not the same thing as a flash. The modeling light is the lamp that basically stays on for a little while to light your subject. Now that you're able to match those 2 conditions, the first thing that you have to do is set up your light and modifier, install them, and put them in place. Second thing is to turn on your modeling light, as we discussed earlier, so you can actually see a light beaming out of your modifier and your light, and you can actually control it. You can work with it if you want to. The third item is to close all the ambient lighting that's surrounding your subject. So basically the only thing that should be lighting your subject is your strobe or your constant light or your speed light. And again, the third item is really the powerful trick, is the fact of turning off all the ambient lighting that's surrounding you will help you and really help you understand the shape that light has. So let's say you put a strip box on top of your subject with a grid. You can understand that grid will be very narrow, so you can actually hit exactly what you want to hit, and you can actually control the way that the light is spilled, or the way that you can flag, or the way you can add negative fill, etc, etc. It's a very powerful technique. Let's say if you want to hit that perfect Rembrandt lighting, etc, having all the lights closed, using one modifier that you can control, and you can basically just make sure that it hits exactly the spot you want to, is really the best way to approach it. And it'll make it much faster than taking a shot, going back to your camera, adjusting, taking another shot, etc, etc. You can get it done in less than 3 minutes versus going back and forth for 10 minutes and getting frustrated in the same process. And from there, once you achieve that exact lighting that you want to, or the way that the light is behaving, you can then start metering and then changing the camera settings or the flash settings just to make sure that it matches your desired aperture, and etc, etc. And again, this is an argument for using strobes versus speed lights most of the time. The reason being is that speed lights don't have a very lengthy modeling light. They will stay on for a little while, but you'll burn through the batteries if you have a battery powered speed light. So that's why I tend to use strobes, because they can basically give you a very powerful modeling light. An example of a strobe that has a powerful modeling light but is also using a battery and that can last a little while is the Godox 8400 Pro, which has a 30-watt modeling lamp that is powerful enough basically that you can open it, have a modifier on top of it, and basically just adjust it like the way you want it to, and that won't burn through the batteries in like 10 seconds. So it's a great item to have, and if ever you do want to get one, I left some links in the description below. And again, if by clicking those links and buying from those links, you're helping this channel give you more tips and give you more advice on photography and lighting. I appreciate it very much. So this trick, in my opinion, is a very powerful one and needs to be shared with people that are struggling with lighting. There's a lot of people online that are complaining that artificial lighting is hard and it's complex and doesn't give you the right results, but I think it's just part because they don't know the way that their material behaves. So again, that powerful trick of just closing everything down and just having that one light with a modeling lamp, I guess will transform a lot of people's work, and I hope that you do share with the people that you know are struggling with this exact subject. So that wraps it up for this video. Again, I hope you did appreciate it and you did learn or remind you of something that you may have forgotten. And if you did like this video, I would appreciate that you hit the like button so you can let the algorithm know that, hey, this content is appreciated and we like YvensB. He's giving good advice. And don't forget to hit subscribe to be notified of the rest of the videos. I'll be posting, again, more and more tips in the future. And also I'll be posting more and more assignments in the future. So that's gonna be interesting. I think I'm gonna get back into it because we have stopped for a while, but now we have more people basically being able to shoot because we have time. So we're gonna use that time efficiently and make sure that we get our practice on.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about?
Again, I want to thank you for watching this. This has been YvensB, a Montreal sports and fitness photographer. And I just want to wish everyone to stay safe and keep shooting. Don't forget that photography is a life vocation, not a short thing. So keep at it. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers and good luck.